Space Mission Icarus, 9, Day 41. 5 humans drifted through the quiet darkness of deep space until the silence shattered. Alarm screamed. Unidentified life form. Boarding. Inside the dim corridor, humanity came face to face with a towering alien warrior for the first time. And then the alien's glowing blue eyes froze. Not on the men, not on the weapons, but on one human woman, Dr. Lyra Holt. No one knew it yet, but in the next few minutes, love and war would ignite together, and an alien prince would make a choice that would drag 2 species into the deadliest space conflict in history. This was only the beginning. The deep space research vessel Icarus, 9 carried 5 of Earth's most skilled specialists. Their mission: explore the outer belt of the Tau Serpentis galaxy and confirm mysterious energy readings detected months ago. Publicly, the mission was scientific. Secretly, humanity suspected something else existed out here. Intelligent life. They were told to observe, not to engage, not to be seen, and if threatened, retreat. But danger didn't wait for them to retreat. It boarded their ship. Rocket the crew. Commander Rourke Hale, strict, battle-hardened, always in control. Engineer Mason Varr, sarcastic genius. Pilot Aaron Quill, calm under pressure. Science Officer Dr. Lyra Holt, brilliant, empathetic, deeply curious. Combat Specialist Orion Strike, quiet, lethal, the man aliens will regret provoking. Lyra was unlike the rest. She believed every form of life deserved to be understood, not feared. And that belief would soon turn the universe upside down. On Day 41, Icarus, 9 drifted near a strange dark energy field. Suddenly, every monitor flickered. Boom! A violent shockwave struck the ship. Systems failed. Lights dimmed. The metal frame groaned under pressure. Lyra scanned her instruments, eyes widening. Lyra, this energy signature isn't natural. Someone's manipulating it. Commander Hale tensed. Shields up. Orion, prepare for breach protocol. But before they could react, a blinding pillar of light erupted inside the central corridor. When it faded, 4 towering alien warriors stood there, armored from head to toe, symbols glowing across their chests. And then, one of the aliens stopped, stared, locked eyes with Lyra, as if he had found what he'd been searching for his entire life. His name was Earzakar, a royal prince of the Zalorian Empire, known for its ancient traditions and brutal warlords. He was nearly 3 times stronger than any human, faster than human senses could track, and capable of short-range psychic resonance. But the moment he saw Lyra, something inside him shifted. Zalorian warriors followed a sacred instinct known as bond recognition. If a warrior sensed a unique soul resonance in another intelligent being, that person was considered a destined partner, chosen by fate itself. And Earzakar felt that resonance with Lyra. The moment he recognized her, the war truly began. Crossed swords, the clash begins. Orion Strike stepped forward, unflinching. Orion, step away from her, alien. Earzakar tilted his head, curious rather than threatened. Earzakar, human soldier, she is claimed. Commander Hale raised his weapon. Fire if he moves. Lyra shouted, Stop, don't provoke. But it was too late. The aliens reacted instantly. Earzakar swept his arm across the air with effortless force. 3 humans were thrown backward, like rag dolls. But when he reached toward Lyra, not to harm her, but to perform a Zalorian recognition ritual, Orion moved like lightning. He slammed into the alien prince, blade drawn, inches from severing his arm. Sparks flew. The corridor glowed with blue and red light. Earzakar's expression finally changed. Not anger, not pain, shock, because no human had ever touched, let alone wounded, a Zalorian royal warrior. And that tiny cut Orion landed would become the spark that ignited an interstellar war. For a moment, the corridor was frozen. Humans on one side, for armored Zalorian warriors on the other, the air shaking with tension. Earzakar slowly lifted his arm, examining the shallow cut Orion had carved into his armor. Zalorian metal was almost unbreakable. Nothing short of plasma-level force could leave a mark. But a human blade had done it. His followers muttered in disbelief, their voices echoing through their helmets. Impossible. A human breached royal armor? Is he enhanced? Zakar ignored them. His eyes were locked on only two people. Orion, the soldier who had dared strike him, and Lyra, the woman he believed fate had delivered. Lyra stepped forward, ignoring Hale's warning shout. Lyra, we don't want violence. We don't even understand what you're doing here. Zakar, you do not understand yet. Human scholar. But you resonate. Lyra blinked. Resonate? Orion pulled her back behind him. Don't speak to it. They're hostiles. Zakar's eyes narrowed. A quiet, dangerous reaction. His voice emerged like low thunder. Speak with respect, soldier. She is not yours to guard. Orion smirked. Funny, she's not yours either. The Zalorian prince stepped forward. The deck, plating trembled under his weight. Commander Hale snapped his rifle up. Hale, another step, and I drop you. The air grew colder. And then, Zakar did something none of them expected. He raised both hands and removed his helmet. A rush of cold vapor escaped. The prince's face was striking, sharp, symmetrical, marked by faint bioluminescent patterns across his temples. His eyes glowed a soft, unnatural blue, like two stars burning behind glass. But he didn't remove the helmet to intimidate them. He removed it to show trust. To Lyra, Milky Way the declaration. Zakar, human woman, my name is Prince Zakar, the Zalorian Empire. By ancient right, I name you the chosen resonance. Lyra's face drained of color. Lyra, what does that mean? Orion gritted his teeth. It means we're leaving. Hail permission to engage? Lyra grabbed Orion's arm. No, we need to understand this before we fight. But the prince wasn't finished. Zakar, you were marked by the energy field we created. It revealed your soul frequency to me. Our bond is recognized. Orion barked a harsh laugh. Buddy, she's human. We don't do whatever alien soul-matching ritual you're talking about. Zakar turned his head slowly. And yet, she resonates unlike any Zalorian female. She is rare. She is fated. Lyra took a breath, choosing her words carefully. Lyra, Zakar, I don't know what you think you felt, but humans don't belong to anyone. A long pause. The prince stared at her as if she had spoken the most fascinating sentence in the universe. High-voltage negotiations fail. Commander Hale stepped forward, authority radiating off him. Hale, you're boarding a military research vessel. Lower your weapons and surrender. Now. Silence. The prince blinked slowly once. Then he spoke. No. Hale stiffened. We will not harm you unless you force it. But you... Zakar raised his hand, silencing him. Human commander, you misunderstand the situation. We did not come to negotiate. We came to retrieve what fate has revealed. His gaze drifted back to Lyra. The temperature in the corridor, seemed to drop 10 degrees. Orion's hand tightened around his blade. Fire the first shot. A low alarm pulsed through the ship as automated defense turrets slid down from the ceiling, targeting the intruders. The Zalorian warriors instantly adopted battle stances. Zakar remained calm. Hale, last warning, stand down. The prince looked at his warriors. They nodded, and then the turrets opened fire. Bolts of energy flashed through the corridor. Zalorian armor absorbed most of it, but sparks flew everywhere. Lyra ducked. Mason grabbed her, dragging her behind a fallen console. Orion and Aaron returned fire with precise bursts. The alien warriors charged. The corridor became a war zone of weapons fire, metal screams, and crackling shields. Zakar moved to the chaos with terrifying confidence, deflecting shots with his forearm guards, closing the distance between him and the humans. But he never attacked Lyra. Not even once. Orion noticed it immediately. Orion, he's avoiding her. Good. That gives me an opening. He lunged forward with a combat knife, aiming for the prince's neck. Zakar spun, faster than a human eye could track, catching Orion's wrist mid-strike. Zakar, you are skilled, dangerous. but you stand between me and destiny. Orion smirked through the struggle. Yeah? Then you're gonna hate what happens next. Collision, the detonation. Mason, still half-dragging Lyra, shouted, Commander, overload sequence set. I'm blowing the emergency hull vents. Hale yelled back, Do it. A countdown blinked red on the corridor wall. 5, 4, 3. Zakar's eyes widened. What are you doing? Lyra shouted from behind the console. They're trying to vent the deck. Orion twisted his wrist, forcing his blade closer to the alien's throat. Say goodbye, Prince. 2, 1, whoosh. The emergency shutters split open, and a violent suction tore through the corridor. Everything not anchored was pulled toward the opening. Equipment, debris, and one of the alien warriors who couldn't hold on. Zakar planted his feet, gripping a support beam with inhuman strength. His armor's gravity locks glowed brightly. Orion, however, was thrown backward. He slammed into Lyra, shielding her with his body as the vacuum ripped past them. The shutters sealed again. The air whooshed back. Silence. Smoke drifted in slow spirals. Zakar stepped forward, eyes burning brighter than before. Zakar, you fight like cornered animals. Very well, if war is what you choose. The Zalorian Empire will oblige. His warriors teleported away in streaks of blue light. The prince vanished last, his final words echoing through the corridor. I will return for you, Lyra Holt. The moment the Zalorian prince vanished, silence crashed down on the damaged corridor. Burnt metal, flickering lights, blood smeared across Orion's armor, Lyra breathing shakily behind him. Commander Hale steadied himself against the wall, face grim. Hale, status report now. Mason coughed, waving smoke away. Mason, life support holding. Hull breach contained. Weapon system is overheated. And, one alien body seems to have drifted off into the void. Aaron dragged an unconscious turret casing off the floor. Aaron, we survived that. He paused, exhaled. Barely. But Lyra didn't respond. She stared at the place where AR's car had disappeared, a faint shimmer of blue still lingering in the air. Orion noticed. Orion, don't even think about it. Lyra blinked. Think about what? Orion, whatever that alien was talking about, resonance, destiny, fate. It's manipulation. They're predators, Lyra. Lyra shook her head. Lyra, you didn't see the way he looked at us. He wasn't lying. He believes what he said. Orion wiped the blood from his lip. Orion, exactly. And that's what makes him more dangerous than anything we've met. Police scarlight the threat above. Suddenly the ship shuddered. Boom. A distant, ominous rumble vibrated through the decks. Aaron ran to the nearest console. Aaron, Commander, scanning. Oh no. Hale's voice hardened. What now? Aaron turned, face pale. We're being surrounded. A holographic display flickered alive. Around Icarus, 9, like a storm of metal shadows, multiple Zalorian warships were emerging. Sleek, angular beasts of black metal and glowing cyan lines. Lyra gasped. Lyra, he called them. Mason swallowed hard. Mason, this isn't a scouting fleet. This is a royal retrieval armada. Hale clenched his jaw. Hale, he wasn't bluffing. He's coming back for you. Lyra froze. Orion stepped in front of her, blade still in hand. Orion, he'll have to go through me. Crown inside the Zalorian flagship. Far above Icarus, 9, the Zalorian flagship Vronthal floated like a silent titan. Zakar materialized in the teleport chamber, armor scorched, breathing hard. His general, Vorth Kazel, rushed forward. Vorth, my prince, your wounds? Your armor, what happened? Zakar spoke without looking at him. Prepare the Royal Council. We declare retrieval forces alert. Vorth stiffened. You mean for the human female? Zakar turned, eyes glowing dangerously. Not a human female. A resonant. The first in centuries. Vorth hesitated. My prince, you know the law. To claim a resonant, the Empire must. Earzakar cut him off. The Empire will obey. She is mine by fate. A voice echoed behind them, deep, slow, commanding. And what of the human soldier who wounded you? Earzakar stopped walking. The towering shape of High Commander Saraxis, his father's most trusted warlord, approached. His armor was thicker, his presence suffocating. Earzakar, he will be dealt with. Saraxis studied the prince. Saraxis, the Empire has never been refused a resonant, but humans will resist. War may be required. Earzakar's jaw tightened. Then war shall be. Fire back on Icarus 9. The humans rushed to the command deck. Red lights flashed everywhere. Aaron, Zalorian ships are powering weapons. Mason tapped his screen frantically. Their main cannons could tear us in half with one shot. Hale turned toward Lyra. Why you? Why would the prince fixate on you? Lyra shook her head violently. I don't know. The energy field. Maybe it interacted with my neural implants. Orion grabbed her shoulders. Lyra, look at me. Whatever he thinks you are, he wants to take you. Her voice cracked. I know. Orion didn't let go. And I won't let that happen. Hale slammed his palm onto the console. Aaron, engines at max. Mason, prepare for evasive maneuvers. Orion, protect Lyra at all costs. We fight until we can escape. Lyra felt sick. If we fight, the whole fleet will destroy us. Hale glanced at her, eyes hard. Then give me another option. Silence. The ship rocked again, Zalorian ships locking on. Lyra whispered, what if I talk to them? Orion nearly exploded. Absolutely not. Hale's voice thundered. No, they don't want peace. They want you. Lyra's hands trembled. And if I don't talk, they'll kill all of you to get me. The crew fell silent. Orion stared at her, a storm brewing his eyes. Lyra, don't even think. She took a shaky breath. Open a channel. Satellite antenna, the communication link. A large hologram flickered alive. And there he stood, Prince Earzakar, armored, glowing, eyes burning with the intensity of a star. Earzakar, Lyra Holt, you survived. Good. Lyra stepped forward. Earzakar, stop this. You don't need to threaten my crew. His expression softened. Just a little. I do not wish to harm them, but you must come with us. Your fate is in Zaloria. Orion shoved between them. Orion, over my dead body. Earzakar's eyes darkened. If that is your desire, I will grant it. The screen cut. The Zalorian ships charge weapons. Lyra whispered, he's coming. Orion whispered back, good. Let him. The moment the transmission cut, emergency sirens echoed through Icarus 9. The Zalorian fleet shifted into an attack formation, a massive crescent of black metal, surrounding the tiny human vessel like a predator cornering fragile prey. Commander Hale didn't waste a second. Hale, shields are full. Aaron, take evasive pattern Echo 7. Aaron's hands flew across the pilot console. Aaron, copy. Engines at maximum thrust, bracing. The ship lurched violently, throwing the crew sideways as it swerved between beams of cyan plasma. Kreaak, a bolt skimmed their hull, ripping off a panel, and sending sparks raining onto the floor. Mason cursed loudly. Mason, they're not firing to disable us. They're firing to shear us open. Lyra gripped the console, her heart pounding. Lyra, he promised he wouldn't kill us if I... Orion cut her off sharply. Orion, Lyra, stop thinking he cares. You're not a person to him, you're a prize. Lyra flinched. She wanted to argue. She wanted to believe Earzakar wasn't a monster. But the cannon fire outside told the truth Orion already knew. Hale shouted, Orion, get her to the secure chamber. Now. Orion grabbed Lyra's arm. Orion, move. Lyra pulled back. Lyra, no. If I hide, you'll all die. Orion, will die anyway if they get their hands on you. Another blast rocked the ship, throwing them both to the floor. Fire meanwhile. A prince prepares to take what he believes is his. On the Zalorian flagship, Earzakar marched toward the teleportation bay, armor fully recharged, eyes glowing bright. General Vorth kept pace beside him. Vorth, my prince, the human vessel is defenseless. With one more volley we can destroy. Arzakar, no, their deaths would stain the resonance path. I claim her alive. Vorth hesitated. Vorth, and what if she resists? The prince's voice grew cold. She will not once she understands. High Commander Saraxis joined them, massive armor snarling with energy. Saraxis, I will accompany you. If the humans fight, I will crush them. Arzakar stopped walking and faced him. Arzakar, touch her, and I will kill you myself. For a moment, even the legendary Saraxis was silent. Then, slowly, he nodded. High voltage back on Icarus 9. The last stand begins. Aaron swerved the ship again as 3 Zalorian interceptors zipped past. Aaron, Hale, we can't outrun them. Hale gritted his teeth. Hale, we're not trying to outrun them. We're buying time. Mason yelled from engineering. Mason, time for what? Hale looked at Orion. Hale, time for our soldier to get Lyra out of here. Orion nodded, then looked at Lyra. Orion, let's go. He tried to pull her toward the escape corridor. She resisted again, tears burning in her eyes. Lyra, Orion, please. If I go with them willingly, maybe they'll stop. Maybe they'll spare all of you. Orion slammed her against the bulkhead, gently but firmly, forcing her to meet his furious eyes. Orion, I don't care what you think he feels. I don't care what fate he believes in. You are not leaving with them. Lyra shook her head. Lyra, but people will die. Orion, people are already dying. And if he takes you, he'll take Earth next. That silenced her. Orion's voice softened, just slightly. Orion, Lyra, listen to me. I don't protect you because of orders. I protect you because losing you would destroy us all. Her breath caught, but before she could respond, a deafening boom tore through the air. The teleport bay lit up in blinding blue light. Hale swore. Hale, they're boarding again. Crown the prince arrives. 4 pillars of swirling blue energy materialized in the destroyed corridor. This time, Arzakar arrived with twice as many warriors, and beside him stood the massive figure of High Commander Saraxis. As soon as he materialized, Arzakar spoke one word. Lyra. His voice rolled through the ship like a command from a god. Lyra instinctively stepped back. Orion immediately stepped in front of her. Orion, you don't get to call her name. Arzakar's eyes sharpened. You again. Orion smirked. Miss me? Arzakar's gauntlets ignited with blue flame. Arzakar, you wounded me once. You will not do so again. Orion raised his blade, no fear in his eyes. Try me? Crossed swords to clash the Empire will never forget. Saraxis boomed, seized the resonant, killed the soldier. Zalorian warriors surged forward. Hale's crew opened fire. Orion charged directly at the prince. Arzakar met him with a thunderous punch that shattered the metal floor. Orion rolled, barely dodging blow, and slashed at the prince's helmet. Arzakar ducked, grabbed Orion by the vest, and hurled him across the corridor. Orion slammed into a wall, but sprang back up. Orion, that all you got, pretty boy? Arzakar's expression flickered with something dangerously close to admiration. Then he charged, faster than any human could move. Orion braced himself. Lyra screamed, Orion! Before the prince's strike connected. Shum! Emergency bulkheads dropped from the ceiling, sealing the corridor and splitting the humans from the Zalorians. Commander Hale shouted, Orion, Lyra, move! Now! Orion grabbed Lyra's hand and sprinted. Behind them, Arzakar slammed his fist against the sealed bulkhead, roaring in fury. Lyra, I will find you. The metal bent with each strike. Lyra's voice trembled. He's breaking through. Orion pulled her faster. Then we run. The alarms kept echoing across the human cruiser Aegis. 4. Their red lights turning every metallic surface into a war-tinted blur. Maya stood near the command deck rail, gripping the handle so tightly her knuckles went white. Below her, crew members rushed between stations, updating targeting vectors, preparing shields, and monitoring enemy movement. But in the middle of that chaos, she felt watched. Zarath, the alien who claimed she was fated to him. The alien who had sparked an entire war just to take her. The alien whose last message still haunted Maya's mind. You belong where the stars bow, Maya. I will come for you. She tried to push the memory away, but the tension in her jaw said she didn't succeed. Commander Ryland strode beside her, jaw clenched, a storm brewing behind his focused eyes. He had fought in multiple cosmic conflicts, survived ambushes no one else did, and was the last person any sane alien race should choose to provoke. Yet Zarath, in his delusion, had made it personal, and Ryland never handled personal lightly. Status. Ryland barked. Lieutenant Hahn tapped the holographic interface. Sir, we're detecting a gravitational distortion building off our port side. It's huge, bigger than anything their fleet has used so far. Maya felt her heartbeat spike. Is it a weapon? No, Hahn whispered. It's a gate. The hologram flickered, crackled, and shimmered into a colossal ring of blue energy forming just outside the Aegis. Every crew member froze. Then he came through, a ship the size of a floating city, a royal dreadnought. Slid out a gate like a beast emerging from a storm cloud. Its armor was plated with obsidian scales, alive with veins of molten blue. An entire army could fit aboard it, or an entire empire. Hahn's voice cracked. Sir, that's the Imperial Eye, the flagship of the Zila Dominion, the alien leader himself, Zarath's father. Ryland's expression didn't flicker, not even once. Open a channel. Within seconds, the comm screen filled with the image of High Sovereign Vakr, Zarath's father. His towering silhouette looked carved from dark metal, eyes glowing with an ancient, terrifying authority. His voice rumbled through the speakers like thunder from another world. Humans, your mechanic soldier has interfered in sacred matters. You harbor the female who caught my son's claim. Return her, and this war ends. The entire command center went still. Ryland stepped forward, refusing to bow his head even slightly. She's not an object, and she's not being returned anywhere. Vakr inhaled slowly, as if trying to understand how a lesser creature dared defy him. My son is heir to the Dominion. When he chooses a mate, it is tradition. It is law. He has marked her. Your refusal is an act of rebellion. Maya felt bile rise in her throat. I never agreed. I never wanted any of this. Vakr ignored her, lowering his head like a predator studying prey. My son has taken pity on your species. I do not share that weakness. You have one final opportunity. Surrender the girl, or I erase every human outpost within 15 systems. Hahn whispered. He's not bluffing. Ryland didn't blink. You won't touch a single one. Vakr's gaze finally snapped to Ryland. You, the one they call the mechanic. A ripple of whispers moved through the crew. They all knew the truth. Ryland wasn't just a mechanic. He commanded the Iron Wolves, the most feared Black Ops fleet in human space. He owned thousands of automated war garrisons. He built weapons that even the Dominion feared. And Vakr knew it. You have strength, Vakr admitted. Your reputation echoes across galaxies. But reputation cannot change destiny. My son will claim what he desires. Your resistance only prolongs the inevitable. Ryland stepped forward, voice calm, low, lethal. You want to teach your son about destiny? He pointed out the window at the massive dreadnought. Then watch closely, because today he learns what happens when you threaten my crew. For the first time, the High Sovereign's expression flickered, just enough to show his surprise. You would challenge the Dominion, Vakr growled. For a single female? Ryland didn't hesitate. For my people any day. Then after a beat, he added quieter, and especially for her. Maya's breath caught. Before she could process the meaning of his words, the entire dreadnought outside shifted. Every cannon, every rail gun, every supernova-charged missile unit, all aimed directly at the Aegis. Then Vakr's final warning echoed across the bridge. This is your last chance. Surrender the girl, or prepare to be buried under the ashes of your own arrogance. The transmission cut. Rylan exhaled once. Battle stations. The crew scattered like lightning bolts. Maya grabbed Rylan's arm. "He'll kill us all." Rylan looked at her, eyes burning with something fierce and unshakable. "No, he'll try, but we're not done yet." As the dreadnought's weapons powered up, the Aegis began to shake. The war wasn't coming. It had already begun. The first blast hit, like a thunderstorm ripping through steel. The Aegis, lurched sideways, lights flickering as its shields absorbed the impact. Maya stumbled but caught herself on the railing. Outside the wide command windows, streaks of burning plasma lit the void like falling stars. The Imperial Eye, the alien dreadnought, wasn't testing them anymore. It was unleashing devastation. Commander Rylan stood at the center platform like an anchor in the storm, voice steady even as war shattered the silence around them. "Fortify the outer shields. Redirect all reactor output to the defensive grid." "Yes, sir." Lieutenant Han slammed controls, boosting the Aegis' protective fields until the glowing barrier shimmered like a blue ocean surrounding the ship. Another blast collided with them, this one harder, cracking the holographic shield display. Maya's heart slammed against her chest. "Rylan, that thing is too big, too powerful. We can't outgun it." "We're not going to outgun it," Rylan said. "We're going to outsmart it." A third explosion hit, sending a ripple across the deck. Sparks erupted from an overhead panel. Maya moved beside him. "What's the plan?" Rylan's eyes locked onto the massive dreadnought outside, the ship that carried Zerath and his father, the High Sovereign. "First," he said, "we survive the next 3 minutes." The next blast came instantly. "Incoming, superheated particle lands." Han yelled, the alien empire's most feared weapon. A glowing spear of white-blue energy ripped across space and struck the Aegis' shield dead center. The entire ship screamed from the force, metal moaning, walls rattling, consoles sparking. "Shields at 43%. Han shouted. People were thrown to the floor. Some shield techs passed out from the shockwave. Maya grabbed Rylan's arm. "We can't take another hit like that." "We won't have to." Rylan turned toward a side console. "Activate the Cerberus protocol." Han froze. "Sir, activating that system is—" "I know exactly what it is." Rylan cut in. "Do it." Maya frowned. "What's the Cerberus protocol?" Rylan didn't look at her as Han entered the authorization commands. "Something I built in case the Dominion ever cross a line they couldn't come back from." Outside, the dreadnought charged a second particle lance. Blue light gathered in its colossal forward cannon, the glow growing brighter, hotter, vibrating like a star being born. Maya stepped back. "Rylan." He finally looked at her. "Stay close to me." Before she could ask why, the Aegis' lights turned blood red. A deep mechanical hum reverberated through the ship, too low for human ears but enough to vibrate bone. A cold, robotic voice spoke overhead. "Cerberus protocol, engaged." Panels in the floor slid open. Massive armor pylons rose. The entire interior of the ship seemed to transform. The Aegis wasn't just a research cruiser anymore. It was evolving. Maya stared as black plates unfolded along the walls, revealing hidden compartments and dormant machinery. "Rylan, what is this ship?" His jaw tightened. "A wolf in sheep's clothing." Before Maya could respond, the dreadnought unleashed a second particle lance. A blinding beam tore across the void, until it struck something invisible surrounding the Aegis. A shockwave burst outward, but the Aegis didn't move an inch. Han gasped. "Sir," the ship generated a phase subshield. "It's absorbing the energy." Maya blinked. "But that's impossible." Rylan shook his head. "Nothing's impossible when you stop playing by their rules." The subshield heated to molten gold, absorbing more and more of the lance's energy until it erupted outward. A pulse of golden radiation shot from the Aegis, slamming into the dreadnought and jolting it off balance. Its cannons flickered, its shields spasmed. The entire bridge crew stared. Rylan finally exhaled. Cerberus Phase 1 complete. Han looked at him like he was seeing the commander for the first time. "Sir, this ship isn't cruiser. It's a disguised war beast." Exactly, Rylan replied. But Maya's breath hitched, because suddenly, through the haze of space weapon fire, she saw a smaller alien vessel break away from the dreadnought. A sleek, dark ship with glowing crimson trails. Zerath. He was coming, straight toward her. Rylan, look. Rylan turned just as a hostile vessel locked onto the Aegis and fired grappling beams designed for boarding. Han's face drained. Sir, that's a Prince-class huntercraft. Only royal heirs use those. Rylan's eyes sharpened. So he's finally coming out of hiding. The hunter craft slammed into the Aegis. Metal screamed. Alarms blared. Red lights flooded the corridor outside. Zerath wasn't attacking the ship. He was boarding it. For her. Maya froze as the realization hit her like a fist to the chest. He's here. Rylan stepped in front of her, voice low, lethal controlled. Then he made the biggest mistake of his life. The deck shook. The doors leading to the boarding corridor burst open. Shadowy figures, Zerath's elite guards, poured into the ship, and behind them, heavy footsteps, a towering silhouette. Zerath, the alien who started a war for her, the alien leader's son, the heir of the Dominion. He stepped forward, eyes glowing like molten silver, gaze locked only on one person. Maya, he whispered, you will come with me now. The Aegis fell silent. Rylan stepped between them, over my dead body. And for the first time, Zerath smiled. The air in the corridor turned cold, not from temperature, but from the presence of Zerath, heir to the Dominion. His armored boots echoed as he stepped inside the Aegis, silver-lit eyes fixed only on Maya. Behind him, 8 elite royal guards formed a spear-shaped formation, silent, towering, deadly. Their armor pulsed with violet energy, the kind that could melt steel like wax. But Zerath looked past all of them. He looked only at her. Maya, he said softly, almost reverently, you should not be here among these fragile creatures. Come with me. My father will end this war the moment you stand by my side. Maya felt her skin crawl. I'm not a prize. I'm not yours. A flicker of irritation flashed across his face. You don't yet understand what you are to me. I understand enough, she shot back. You've killed people, started a war, endangered billions. For what? Because I talked to you for 5 minutes on a research station. Zerath's jaw tightened. Those 5 minutes were sacred. Before Maya could respond, Rylan stepped forward. Slow, calm, controlled. He didn't raise a weapon, didn't posture. He just stood between the alien prince and the woman he swore to protect. But the way Zerath's expression changed, just at the sight of Rylan, told the entire story. Zerath wasn't confident anymore. He was wary, very wary. You, Zerath said slowly, the so-called mechanic. Rylan didn't flinch. That's me. You hide behind false titles, Zerath snarled. But I know what you really are. My father warned me of your kind. Humans who build armies without nations, fleets without oversight. You control thousands of war garrisons. You engineer machines that even the Dominion fears. Rylan shrugged casually. I fix things. You break them. That's the difference between us. A ripple of anger glowed through Zerath's armor. You stole what is mine. Rylan's voice dropped, cold and surgical. She was never yours. Zerath's guard shifted, preparing to engage. Rylan didn't draw his weapon. He just tapped the side of his wrist device. Instantly, the Aegis corridor changed. Panels along the walls opened. Hidden drones unfolded like mechanical ravens. Turrets emerged from the ceiling, targeting each royal guard. A deep metallic vibration signaled the activation of another Cerberus subroutine. Maya's breath caught. Rylan hadn't prepared for a fight. He had prepared for this fight. Zerath's eyes widened. You triggered a fortress mode. On a cruiser? Rylan tilted his head. You kicked my door in. What did you think was going to happen? Zerath lunged forward. His guards followed, and the Aegis struck back. Turrets unleashed kinetic bursts that shattered the guard shields. Drones dove, dropping shock pulses that knocked 3 guards to their knees. Maya pressed against the wall as the corridor erupted into chaos. Metal clashing, weapons screaming, alien roars mixing with the thunder of machinery. One of the guards charged Rylan from behind. Rylan spun, caught the alien's wrist, and slammed him into the floor so hard the deck shook. The guard didn't get up. Another guard swung a plasma blade toward Maya. But before it touched her, Rylan fired a magnetic dart that pinned the guard to the wall like a trophy. Zerath's fury grew with every second. "You fight like an animal," Zerath spat. "No," Rylan replied, stepping forward. "I fight for my people. You fight for your ego." Zerath roared and charged. And this time, Rylan met him head-on. The impact cracked the floor beneath their feet. Zerath's strength was monstrous. His blows shook the corridor. Rylan dodged, countered, blocked, using precision instead of brute force. Every strike, every step was controlled, measured, lethal, but Zerath was relentless. He slammed Rylan against the wall. "You cannot win. I am heir to an empire." Rylan grinned through blood on his lip. "Good. Then your fall will echo louder." He triggered a pulse from his wrist bracer. A shock wave erupted. Zerath flew backward, smashing into far wall. For the first time, he looked afraid. Maya stepped forward, voice steady. "You don't own me. You don't own anyone." Zerath pushed himself up, trembling with fury. "This isn't over. My father will destroy your worlds for this." Rylan walked toward him slowly, quietly. "Let me make something clear," he said, crouching to Zerath level. "If your father comes again, if he threatens my crew, my people, or Maya..." He grabbed Zerath by the chest armor and yanked him close. "I won't just stop him. I'll bury the Dominion, so deep future galaxies will think it was a myth." Zerath went still, completely still, because for the first time, he believed him. Rylan released him, and Aegis's automated systems dragged the defeated guards and Zerath back toward the boarding breach. Before the hatch sealed, Zerath gave Maya one last look, not possessive now, but shaken. "You changed him," Zerath whispered. "The mechanic. I've never seen a human fight like that." Maya held his gaze coldly. "That's because you've never seen someone fight for the right reasons." The hatch sealed. Silence returned. The war wasn't over. The Dominion would return. The High Sovereign would rage. But something had changed. The Aegis still stood. Her crew still breathed. And an empire had learned fear. Rylan exhaled hard and finally looked at Maya, shoulders softening. "You okay?" Maya nodded slowly. "Thanks to you." He smiled, small, tired, real. "Then we win today." She stepped closer. "Rylan, why did you fight so hard for me?" He met her eyes, unwavering. "Because you're one of my crew," he said softly. "And because..." He hesitated for the first time in hours. "Because I care." The Aegis floated in the silent aftermath of battle, its hull scarred but unbroken. And in that silence, two humans stood together, stronger than any empire that dared to claim them.